We are back on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio, News Talk, 1180, 1230 KGEO, 1410 KERI, 1000 KKIM, and across the nation on the Internet 3 times a week on knookmedia.com. Our guest by phone is the Republican candidate for the 32nd Assembly District, Pedro Rios. Pedro, you were about to say something?
Yes, I was adding to that picture. We've been worried about terrorism and what's taking place. Mexico has been in a war. Thousands of people have been killed down there. The cartels have grown very powerful. They're able to import and buy weapons from other countries. And so they have an arsenal of weaponry to the point where the Mexican government has had to send the army and the military to confront them because the regular police, they're no match to them. So what I'm saying is these cartels, their strength, their money, their finances come from the money, the drugs that they send into the United States, and then that money flows back into Mexico, and it lands in Colombia, Central America, and Mexico, and they have the money. So by us securing the border, we're also going to take care of that problem, because who knows what could happen one day. What if Al Qaeda and other terrorist groups eventually make contact with these cartels, and then it's going to be a bigger threat. So that's why I truly believe that the borders have got to be secured. There is no question about it.
All right, Pedro, what about we secure the borders, we stop immigration, illegal immigration. What do we do with all the immigrants that are already here in California?
Now, as you know, this concept and this idea of sending millions of people back to their native countries, one, I believe it's unrealistic. And another thing, it wouldn't make sense, and it doesn't look as make good. I believe that we have got to then have a system and approach that allows these folks, just like I myself one day under President Ronald Reagan, he had a program that I became legal. I earned my citizenship. I served my country. I went to school. I became successful, and I've been able to contribute. So these folks, a lot of these folks, are already assimilated into this country. They're working. They're paying their taxes. We can't label everybody and say they're in the whole pot. Now, those that have been criminals, have done criminal activity, then let's ship them out. But those that are proving themselves, they want to assimilate, they want to be successful, they want to adapt, they want to go to school, let's give them the opportunity, and let's allow them to reach full citizenship and be part of this country. Because to have them, in my view, Marty and Clay, to have them live in the shadows, it's not good for our society. That's my personal view.
Pedro, I got to tell you a cute story about immigration. I'm originally Canadian, so I can remember being 11 years old and looking at a Los Angeles map with my dad. We were in Toronto at the time, and I remember looking at the map and looking at and Hispanic to me was completely foreign because
Right.
But I remember looking at a map and looking at towns like La Canada, and I thought, well, it must be a bunch of Canadians living there in La Canada, and Sepulveda Avenue instead of Sepulveda, and so a totally different culture. But one of the things that and you and Kevin have both touched on this. We have to solve the border problem as far as people sifting across before we can look at the overall problem. We got to secure the border.
Exactly, because otherwise it's going to be ongoing. It's like, imagine having a flood, and you want to jump into the flooding area, but unless you go in there and you stop the source of it, it'll never be solved. So, I know that a lot of Democrats, I have to be sincere with the way I feel, because I was heavily attacked in the last campaign, saying that I was against immigrants, that I was in favor of deportation, that I was not in favor of young people accomplishing and reaching their potentials in this country. And that was a big lie, a huge lie. It was just thrown out of proportion. So, in my view, Democrats, they know that the Hispanic vote is growing, and they want to have, I truly believe in my heart, and I have to be sincere, that they do not want a final solution to this. They want this to continue to be an ongoing problem so that they can continue to come back and tell the Hispanic people, look, we are championing for you. We deserve to get your vote. And I say, let's stop that. Let's set it aside. Let's move on, and let's present some real issues that are of concern to everybody across the spectrum, which is education, which is jobs, which is accomplishing and reaching the American dream, and it can be done in this country. And so that's why I truly believe that the Democrats do not want a final solution to this, and this can be solved. So that way, from 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, we will not continue to have the same problems, and those people in those countries can finally say, I do not have to embark on a dangerous journey. I can be successful right here in my little village, in my own country, and my kids can go to school. And when they can come and visit like others do with the tourist card, with the visa. And we want that across the board. Otherwise, as long as we continue to have this unevenness across the southern hemisphere, this problem will go on forever. And again, I repeat it. It's not a beautiful thing to leave your parents, to leave your neighbors, to leave your home, whatever you have, and have to go on embark on a dangerous journey that you know that sooner or later death can come, because every day people die crossing that border. That's the reality, and that's what we need to tell the Democrat Party. Let's stop it. Let's fix it. And let's have a solution once and for all.
I totally agree. We're having a conversation with Pedro Rios, the Republican candidate for the 32nd Assembly District.
So, Pedro, do we build a wall?
You know, I really haven't pondered upon what needs to be done, but I'm sure that if we come together as a nation, as a team, I think that we can find an excellent solution. I mean, we don't have to make it seem like, you know what, we're the East Berlin Wall, or because obviously commerce, the number of people that cross daily, and if you go to the border crossings in Tijuana and other cities, it is amazing, the thousands of people that go from here to over there and from over there to here. The commerce that's taking place, the trade, it's in the billions of dollars. In fact, the Mexican president was here in Sacramento yesterday, and so there is a great interest that we don't make it seem like we're going to totally annihilate you. We don't want no communication. So I think we just have to get together, think about what's best, and secure that border. If we are the most powerful nation in the world, I cannot believe that we cannot certainly secure the southern border. I know we can do it.
We're not we're not the most powerful nation in the world anymore, and we're not the most respected nation in the world anymore.
Unfortunately. Pedro, let me ask you this. We're thinking of contacting Rudy and seeing if the two of you would get on the show together. Would you be up for that?
Yes, let me know. Let me know when that takes place.
Okay. Now, let me ask you another question as far as you had touched on the Hispanic community. When I look at the Hispanic community and I look at the Republican Party, they share the same set of values, but yet for some reason we haven't been able to communicate that. Republican Party has not been able to communicate that to the Hispanic community as well as they should have. What do you think the problem is there?
I think one is obviously we have a lot of the Spanish TV and radio stations. The powerful ones are very liberal, and they tend to paint Republicans in a negative way. And sometimes you do have you may have a national leader, a Republican well-known leader, that all of a sudden may make a very dangerous off the line comment, and then that gets thrown all over the media, and then it ends up hurting us. So I think that needs to be changed. Leaders need to think what they say at the national level, at the state level. And again, I think the biggest thing that I see now the Republican Party supporting candidates like myself who will be able to communicate and talk to the people.
Hey, Pedro, tell me in Spanish, in a quick 1-minute sentence, why you should be elected.
Yo creo que yo he vivido aquí el sueño americano, he luchado fuertemente, sé las necesidades de aquí del Valle, y por eso es que yo le pido al pueblo que me apoye y voy a luchar fuertemente para representarlos. Así es que les pido su apoyo.
That came easy for you, didn't it?
Yeah, it came easy.
Now, are you prepared to have your microphone turned off when you get up there?
I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that, guys.
You know, one of the things I do like about you, Pedro, is you're not afraid to stand up and talk and say what you think, and I think that's a great attribute.
Yes, I want to be genuine. I don't want to fool people. I don't want to lie to nobody. I want to be genuine and tell them who I am. But one thing I can tell you, Marty and Clay, I will not fail the people. I will work very hard to represent them. So please give me your support and your vote.
And Pedro, what we're going to do is we're going to talk to Rudy Salas and see if we can have the two of you on.
All right.
Okay. Thank you for the time.
Thank you so much, my friend. And I say God bless you all.
Thank you, Pedro. We'll be back in a moment on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio News Talk 1180.